Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Blue Marble Week, now shifting to Conversations for the Future, powered by Foundation for the Future. My name is Leo Llanos, and I will be introducing our morning speakers today. This event is a nonpartisan conversation about near-term space infrastructure from now to 2035. This monthly event is organized and produced by Foundation for the Future. This foundation is dedicated to the creation of public-private partnership for space infrastructure development. To support this cause, donate, or to sponsor Conversations for the Future, please visit our website at www.f4f.space. First up, we have one of our founders here at Foundation for the Future, Tim Chrisman. Tim is a former CIA intelligence officer who supported the National Space Council. He is a retired Army intelligence officer and former intelligence advisor to the Joint Staff at the Pentagon. He holds 2 master's degrees, one in intelligence studies and one in international relations and affairs from American University. Mr. Chrisman is the author of the book Humanity in Space and of various articles about the expanse of our civilization in space. Tim's next challenge and mission is to make space accessible, survivable, and ultimately boring enough to be routine. Tim is actually on location at Scranton, Pennsylvania, where he will be talking about how we in the space industry can leverage the opportunities of a new space economy in cities like Scranton. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Doing great, Leo. How are you? Thanks for the intro.
No problem. The screen is yours.
Thank you. So, yeah, as Leo mentioned, and those of you joining us from yesterday know, I am in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to host what will be our last Blue Marble Week event as we transition from Blue Marble to Conversations. It was fitting that we begin taking this format on the road to both challenge us inside the space community to make space relevant to the rest of the country, but also to infuse a sense of hope and reignite the passion about space by explaining to locals, whether they're educators, leaders, or business people, that space is real. It's for them, and it's time to make it happen. We chose Scranton because Scranton is a mining and manufacturing town that for the past 200 years has been reinventing itself every couple decades. From its founding in the 1840s, when it first started as a iron and steel mill town, to pioneering novel uses for railroads, for mining techniques, eventually retooling into what it is now as a biomedical and education hub. Scranton's had a long journey, but it's still not the place you think of when you think space. You think space, you think Florida, you think aerospace manufacturing, you think Washington State. But as we heard yesterday, and as we'll talk more today, what the space economy needs is everything we have here on the ground. If we make it here, have it here, or maintain it here, we're going to need to do the same in space over the coming years. And that has been an exciting message to take to the educators and leaders here in Scranton and explain, no, you don't need to feel like you're left behind. No, you're not left out. Come join us. And as Lackawanna College announced yesterday, as they joined our Workforce for the Future initiative, they're eager to do so. The problem is Scranton has been reinventing itself for decades. Since the 1950s, it has tried numerous initiatives to rebrand and repurpose its workforce and people. The problem is it hasn't worked. About 1950, the population was 110,000 in this area. It's now down under 70,000. Unemployment's 10%. And almost 20,000 youth aged 18 to 25 in this county are not connected to a job or school. Let that sink in for a second. The county itself has a little over 100,000 people. The town of Scranton is under 70,000. And in this area, 20% of the population has no ties. They may have family ties, but they are not working or going to school in any sort of permanent fashion. And that is because, in many cases, they don't see anything to excite them, to engage them, and to feel like they have a sense of use and purpose. And so as I've been talking to teachers the last day or so, they've repeatedly told me that many of these kids come from families that have seen Scranton's reinvigoration attempts and are jaded. They think that some new group, some new tech is going to show up, make big promises and not deliver, whether it's car factories or green energy. Nothing seems to pan out as described or planned. And so I challenge all of us, as we talk about making it in space, describing the mining and manufacturing potential and opportunities, keep in the back of your head, how can we overcome the generational jadedness that has grown up in a town like Scranton that has 200 years of trying, of pushing the envelope, of making big changes and seeing disappointment because of a lack of follow through. So think about that as you format your questions for our presenters, as we go into workshops. How can we answer the question from leaders in the Chamber of Commerce and the Mayor's office about how is space different? Why should we be believed when others have failed this community? And my answer has been, I can't tell you we won't fail, because space has before. In the 70s, space was cool and exciting, but we didn't bridge the gap between the hype and the technology possibilities. As I talked yesterday about our plan at the foundation to bridge the chasm between expectations and adoption, whether it's through our workforce initiatives, our Space Corporation Act, or our outreach events like this, we're laying the groundwork to ensure there is not another great disappointment in the space economy. But ultimately, that disappointment is around the corner if we don't take the initiative, if we don't do the work required, if we rest and let people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, big companies take the lead and do all of the work around hyping and building, we're going to leave communities behind. And that's not something I can accept, and I don't think any of you will either. And so I'm excited to be here in Scranton to talk about what we're doing and our plan to bridge that chasm. And I'm excited to hear our speakers and panelists go into more about the future of making in space and how that can be related to a town like Scranton. Because to be honest, there are a lot of towns like this. There are hundreds in the Rust Belt that have similar stories. There are hundreds more outside any space corridor that are waiting for a chance to join in the space economy. Let's give them a path. Let's create a pipeline. And let's make it to space. Leo, over to you.
Thank you so much, Tim. Blue Marble Week, now shifting to Conversations for the Future, was created to engage the community. If you are here, that means that you are part of the biggest conversation in space topics. We all are here to challenge and plan for the future in space. It's extremely important to make jobs more accessible to local communities, not just in cities already established in the space industry. To everybody watching, your help in the ongoing efforts to make space accessible to all is not only appreciated, but also very extremely important. If you would like to help in any way, please email myself, Tim, or Lila with our first name followed by frf.space. And as always, please visit the Foundation for the Future's website at frf.space for more information on how you can help sponsor and donate to our ongoing efforts, as well as to Blue Marble Week, soon to be Conversations for the Future.